Back again with another one, y'all. Bad News Brown. R.I.P. to Tito Jackson. Yeah, it appears that Tito Jackson passed away, y'all. Appears he died from a heart attack on his way to Oklahoma, I believe, from New Mexico. But yeah, man, that's a shame, man. It seems like every day we losing somebody. So it's important that we keep their legacies intact, moving forward before they get remixed and whitewashed or whatever. But again, man, I just want to kind of just, it's a shame, but I want to get into the Jackson family because that's our royal family, one of our royal families, if you ask me. A lot of people accuse Joe of being real abusive and strict, and he definitely was strict. But, in hindsight, Joe had to protect his children, man. There's a lot of predators in Hollywood, as we know now. So that's just another way to look at it. But he definitely was strict. And again, though, that's a royal family. So for what it's worth, we got to congratulate Joe to that extent. You understand? All of them, from Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, Mike, and Randy. Not even Reby, Latoya, and of course Janet. So they all was talented and quality people. I'll just put it like that to that extent as we know. So yeah, so my condolences to the Jackson family. And Tito, he had 3 sons, I believe, and 9 grandchildren. And I remember at one point they did have a little group called, like, was it 3T or 3T or something like that to that effect. So something tells me this ain't the last we gonna hear about the Jackson family. Most definitely, man. And we already know Mike is Mike. If you ask me, Mike is the closest we gonna get to Jesus. And I always say that. But yeah, Mike was definitely a real talented, ultra how should I say, special person. I'm just gonna leave it as that. But yeah, man, it's a shame, man. I don't want to go too deep down a rabbit hole, but I kind of just want to, as we already know, man, life is short, and I just want to touch on keeping our legacies intact moving forward. So when the new blood coming up, we know the truth is told and the picture is painted correctly on that individual or persons or story, whatever it may be. They need to hear from our mouth and how we feel about it, not how the status quo feel about it, how we feel about it. His people, his peers, you know. And the Jackson family, man, you say what you want, but they was pretty solid. They came, Mike, they grew up in Gary. Gary is a rough city. You understand? Just watch that movie Original Gangsters, you know about Gary. So Gary, Indiana, man, they came up in a rough city, man. They definitely wasn't rich, and Joe had a purpose. He had a vision, and he brought it to fruition. And the rest is history, man. Again, man, Michael Jackson, man. Again, when did you ever seen people of all races crying over an individual? I mean, sincere crying. He all over the world with it. Everybody loved Michael Jackson. Hell, I remember when he passed, where I was working at, my Asian coworker, he was like, his parents cried when Mike died. I was surprised, like, damn. He like, yeah, my parents, we Chinese, they cry. So that just goes to show the effect, man, and the influence that Mike had, and we can thank all that to the Jacksons, even back in the 70s from the original Jackson 5, man. Them boys was gigging. They was doing their thing, man, and it's a shame, man. Again, man, R.I.P. Tito Jackson. And of course, Tito because of the old Chris Tucker, quote, I'm Michael, you Tito, your ass belong to me. Come to think of it, we may not ever get another family like the Jacksons in this day and age, being that it's so much outside influence, man. You ain't even probably be able to raise a crop like that. But I ain't gonna say that. Yeah, man. But it another never another be another family like the Jacksons, man. And I remember back in the day, man, they was trying to compare the Barges to the Jacksons, but apparently it didn't happen. And shout out to the DeBarges, they definitely was talented, you know what I mean? But and look, ironically, they ended up marrying a Jackson. You know, see how that worked? But that's just funny. But again, man, the Jacksons is one of these families, man. You don't want to take for granted. Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Tito Jackson, man. You know, definitely icon in itself, man. It's Bad News Brown breaking this shit down for y'all one time. I'm gonna be back at y'all in a minute.